Since social media's infancy in 2005, our featured speaker has consulted thousands of entrepreneurs in over 25 countries. Millions have viewed his free business growth tutorials online, and during the last decade, he's helped private clients generate upwards of $225 million of extra sales. Please welcome the international best-selling author of Social Media Made Me Rich, and Here's How It Can Do the Same for You, Dr. Matthew Loop.
This was hard for me to talk about for the longest time. In fact, it altered the course of my life. And it's a big reason why I'm committed to giving back. When I began my online entrepreneurial journey, I didn't have $1 million business or the luxury of a big bankroll like many gurus you may be familiar with. My parents weren't rich, and I wasn't a member of the Old Boys Club either. Before discovering the power of social media, I was over $135,000 in loan debt. My credit cards were maxed because of all the ineffective advertising gimmicks I tried. I even went to Bank of America one day and attempted to cash a convenience check. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a pre-printed check linked to your credit card. When you cash it, they jack up your interest rate and they charge you astronomical fees. As I stood at the counter, the bank teller came back from speaking with her manager. My palms were sweating and I felt terrible. She politely said they couldn't cash the check. I felt crushed and scared. My stomach knotted up because I was running out of options. I knew if I didn't make something happen fast, I'd have to close my doors and take a job waiting tables. That sure wasn't what I signed up for when I went to graduate school. I felt like a total failure because I couldn't make the traditional promotion and marketing work. Probably the worst part was my ex-girlfriend's father took me out to lunch one day at Bahama Breeze. After we ate, he presented me with a $2,000 check to float me along because he'd gotten wind of my financial circumstances that day. I had no idea that that was coming. And you might say, well, why was that so bad? Well, whatever I had left of my ego was just squashed that day. I was humiliated, and it was a very humbling experience, to say the least. I had no choice but to accept the loan, and now the pressure was really on. I had to make things work. There was just no other option. It's one thing to let yourself down. It's another thing to let somebody else down, especially when they invest in you. But it turns out that situation was the kick in the tail that I needed to get laser focused, to get motivated so I could start making things happen. Right after that hardship, I began to take an interest in social media and human behavior. I became fascinated why people made the decisions that they made when it came to purchasing. I began to ask myself questions like, why would somebody that clearly needs my service not invest in their health? What psychological factors influenced buying habits? I devoured many books on the subject, and finally I learned how to fuse principles like consistency, reciprocity, authority, liking, social proof, and scarcity into marketing. Marketing is simply communicating what you do to the perfect audience at the right time that compels that prospective customer to take the necessary action that will better their lives. Influencing an individual so they can achieve the result they're already seeking at a much faster pace. As I began to grow my brick and mortar practice using the web and social media, a friend asked me what I was doing because he was having similar problems in his office. He was blown away by what I was doing on MySpace. Yes, you heard that correctly. Who's on MySpace here? Yeah. After all, like most people I spoke with thought it was just a kids' network. A short time later, my friend began to see brag-worthy results by cloning that same social media marketing process I had developed. That's when I began to realize the power of connecting people with real problems to effective solutions. If you can successfully do this, people will gladly pay you for your advice, expertise, product, service, or knowledge. After my little epiphany in 2006, I decided to put my social media marketing expertise into DVD format so that I could reach the masses of doctors around the world. That was my initial big taste at harnessing the internet with my specialized knowledge. It was also my first real digital information product. I get regular testimonials from doctors and entrepreneurs that have applied the information, and it's actually changed their lives. It's such an amazing feeling to get paid ridiculously well by serving others, doing what you love. Can anyone relate? The crazy thing was that my secondary source of income eventually overtook my primary practice income. I was stunned. The demand increased so much that I accidentally stumbled upon a career in consulting. Throughout the last decade, I've been fortunate to train several thousand ordinary people, business owners, brands, entrepreneurs, famous public figures. I've spoken from world-class stage, like here at Harvard, and built a strong, loyal following from scratch in a few different industries. You'll learn how to replicate that exact process in the international bestseller and Forbes featured book, Social Media Made Me Rich. Here's how it can do the same for you. You see, Facebook isn't just some hobby for me like it is for many others. I actually built a successful brick-and-mortar business using it. Then I took that advanced knowledge, applied it to online commerce, and established multi-million-dollar companies from scratch. More importantly, I've helped private clients generate over $225 million in extra sales. If you are ready to multiply your impact, influence, and monthly revenue using Facebook, today is the day to secure the best strategies. It's not what you do that determines your success and profitability online. It's how you do it. I'll leave you with this final thought. Procrastination is a thief that robs the average person of dreams and opportunity. Analysis paralysis never made anyone rich. Stop thinking about improving your social media outreach and do whatever it takes so you can thrive and prosper right now. Thank you.
Yeah, great job.